team here might need to ask for forgiveness, sitting just outside the rankings and wanting what their opponent today has, a spot in the top 25. And the Gamecocks will kick it off to get us underway. And he takes this from inside the 5. Not a lot of space to be found. Good hustle by the coverage team, and they stop him at the 21. So Texas A&M's offense has the ball first today. These rivalry games can really get the blood pumping, and we'll see who can manage their emotions best early.
Everyone's been waiting for this game, right? You know, both of these teams have had this game circled all the way back to the beginning of the offseason, so you got to be able to play under control.
With passion.
There he goes!
And frankly, if that's a completion, it's not going to make the end-of-season highlight reel, but in this game, it could lead to a highlight reel-type play. The offensive coordinator may be setting something big up for later in the game.
And the Aggies with myriad options after that big pickup on first down. Wants to throw. It's Reed. It's on target and complete. Forced out of bounds, maybe a step shy of midfield. They'll mark it at the 49.
And that's why this guy is such a weapon in this offense, because you don't have to throw it far downfield. Just get the ball in his hands. He catches it close to the line of scrimmage, but look what he was able to do after the catch. He gets an explosive play for this offense.
From the gun, the running back has it. And a nice solid pickup there before the defense wrestles him to the ground.
You want to make play calling easy for an offensive coordinator? Run the ball like that every play. I mean, when you can run that on first down and set up a short yardage on second down, it makes play calling easy. Every single call on that sheet is available here on second down.
They go right back to him. They get him on the ground, but that'll be enough to give Texas A&M a first down.
Really good-looking run there. This guy reminds me a little bit of an old Texas A&M Aggie great, Leland McElroy. He was so dangerous in space, was so difficult to bring down to the ground. All 11 guys on defense had to rally to the football. This guy has a little bit of that, too. If they can find more creative ways to get this guy out in the open field, watch out, because he's a home run waiting to happen.
Found a little bit of room to operate, but he'll be stopped just short of the first down.
This quarterback right now is in a groove, and he's doing a nice job in pre-snap. He's reading the coverage, and he's getting an idea of where he wants to go with the football. That's why the ball's coming out of his hands so quickly. That's why he seems like he's in a great rhythm right now.
Starting to feel a little pressure. How about this sophomore learning when to just do it himself?
It's just so nice as a coaching staff when you've got quarterbacks who make good decisions. And on a second and short play, you're throwing it, you're trying to catch the defense napping, you might take a shot, nothing there. Go get it yourself. Make the right decision to keep it, not panic, and get you a fresh set of downs.
The give out of the gun. Makes a stop in the backfield. He'll lose 4.
Defense is about firing off, hitting the offensive guys and staying in your gaps, everybody knowing where they're supposed to be. You could tell the defense, everyone was right where they're supposed to be, nowhere to run.
Put themselves in a bit of a bind, but that last one is 2nd and 14. On the ground, it's Moss. They get him on the ground, and with that, we'll head to the second quarter. It's been a defensive battle through the first period, and the stats tell that tale. Let's see if the offenses can find a little rhythm as we start the second quarter. So they had a chance to talk over this third down play to open the period. Looking for a man. It's Reed. Fires to the wideout. Complete in the middle. So close to that end zone. He could almost taste it, but it'll be 1st and goal for this offense.
And listen, the defense knew coming into this one, they were going to target him early and often. He is a weapon, and there's no mystery where the quarterback's going to be looking on critical down and distances. Let's see how they're able to cover him throughout the rest of this game.
They'll use the running game on 1st and goal. And the defense stuffs the run, and the ball will remain at the 2.
If you're going to stop the run game, you better be physical up front on the defensive line. They've got some maulers. They've got some dudes with bad intentions. Nice play there.
They've moved it forward to the 2. Now it's 2nd and goal. He'll run it to the right, looking for the goal line. Just hammering it with this running back again, and he noses his way into the end zone.
Well, your opponent can't beat you if you don't give them the football, and they were able to possess it throughout the entire first quarter, and they finally cap it off with that impressive rushing touchdown.
They get set for the point afters. We have the first score of the game. And the PAT makes it 7-0. So it's an 80-yard drive, and finish the deal with the short touchdown run from the 2. Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. The returner will field it and try to do some business. And they'll get him on the ground as the offense comes out to start the next drive. So South Carolina's offense will try to get something going with their first possession. Guys, if you listen closely, I think you can hear the jawing going already between this quarterback and wide receiver. What a matchup, Jesse, it's going to be between those two.
You know, so many people have already been talking about this individual one-on-one matchup, David, and it's going to be happening out on an island all game long. The receiver's got speed, he's got game-breaking ability, catching the football, can climb the ladder. He's going up against one of the best shutdown corners in the game. I cannot wait to watch this.
Yeah, and he's got the speed to stay with him and the instincts, and he's been so great out wide in every game. This is a huge test. This is a Sunday test. 2 NFL guys going at it to see who's going to take home the prize.
Well, I love the job by the offensive line, getting a good push there on 2nd down, and you see guys bleeding into the second level of the defense, getting a hat-on-hat to go get that first.
It's 1st and 10 from the 31. Looking for a man, it's Sellers. Unloads to the wideout. Fires and picked off. And he's wrapped up after a solid return on the pick.
Defensive backs have tough jobs. I mean, you think about whether you play nickel, whether you play dime, whatever it is, you put more DBs on the field. It's more speed. It's more guys that can cover, but they also got to cover that ground. But to cover the ground and make the pick, a lot of times you don't see that. Superb effort by that guy.
Plenty of time to work, not any time to waste as they take over here in the final 2 minutes of the half. Use the play fake, now to throw. Finds his big tight end.
I'll tell you, I love the play call on 1st down here. You're just trying to find an easy completion, and the shortest throw on the field for the quarterback is finding your biggest target, and that's the tight end. Nice job.
The Aggies with a 2nd and short to keep this drive moving. Caught in the backfield. It's Bussey. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that.
I'll tell you, the offense might be setting up a shot down the field here. You might see them later fake the wide receiver screen and see if they can hit a tight end or another receiver running up the boundary. Keep your eye open for that.
And the Aggies are at the line looking to convert on 3rd and short. To the ground to try to pick up the first. All down, but he has enough to move the chains.
Well, I'll tell you, it was a pretty dumb decision by the opponent to go for it so deep in their own end, and this offense now is making them pay for that. After getting the ball back on the 3rd play of the drive, they're able to run it, get the first down, and stay on the field.
Texas A&M will line up with a 1st and goal. He'll be brought down at the 5-yard line, and this defense is on its heels. The offense wastes no time getting the timeout called.
You You know, I really like this QB running the football because I know he's got a lot of speed, but he's not the biggest guy in the world. So he's not going to be able to break a lot of tackles. You really got to do a good job of trying to scheme ways to get him out in more space.
This will likely be the last play of the half. They'll use a timeout right before halftime, maybe time for 1 or 2 more plays. And it's 3rd down, but they're going to go ahead and try the field goal and try to get points before the break. And you'll have to be precise from the left hash in this short angle. That thing would have hit a string in the middle of the uprights. Perfect. And that lead grows even bigger.
And you want a touchdown and you want to be aggressive, but man, right down the middle, that obviously gives me some confidence down the road that I can trust this guy.
So they get the late field goal right before the half and not much time after this kickoff for an answer. Fielded in the end zone. It's Harper. Coverage team there to make the stop. They avoid disaster, and that's the end of the first half. That's going to wrap up the first half here, and now we join Kevin with the halftime update.
Man, great energy in that building. There always is when these two get together, and a fun first half between these rivals. And a lot of coaches will say limiting the big plays and maybe hitting on a few yourself is key. But I'm more of a move the chains guy. Give me efficiency every day of the week and twice on Saturday. The offensive unit that subscribes to the less is more philosophy might be the one that leaves here today with a big fat W. That said, let's get back to the field and our guys in the booth to see who comes out on top of this rivalry contest.
Here he comes from inside his own 5. And the returner will be brought down. And the South Carolina offense is back on the field. Maybe adjustments or attitude adjustments, but they've got to find a way to run the ball at least some here in the second half.
I do think you said something that's important. I think running the football is an attitude. Like, it starts with the offensive lineman and being physical, having a nasty attitude. Running back, same thing. I think they need more of that in the second half.
You know, and I think if you're this defense, you have an opportunity to make a statement here. Yeah, I know you guys went in at halftime and you riled yourselves up and you told yourself that you think you can run the ball on us. On this very first drive, we're going to prove to you, just like in the first 30 minutes, you cannot.
And coming out in the second half, this offense, they needed to establish this run game. They needed to get something going. They're losing. They've got to find a way to get a flow, to get a rhythm. And so far here to start this second half, defense picking up where it left off.
And this offense can ill afford to come up empty on this drive, already trailing by multiple possessions. He did not make it a stonewall on 3rd down.
You got to love that. On defense, one of the most critical statistics out there is how do you play on 3rd down? How do you prevent the opponent from keeping drives alive? Right there, tackling the catch. You gave up the completion. Whoop-de-doo. You set up 4th and long. You're going to get the ball back. Go get some water and celebrate.
They punted away on 4th down. Fair catch is collected at the 24, and that's where they'll start this drive. The drive starts from their own 25-yard line. They go to the ground. Forges ahead, picks up about 3 to the 29.
I think if you're the coaching staff, you have to like what you've seen from this guy so far in the game. He's pumped out some really nice runs. Obviously, he's already scored a touchdown. Really nice run there as well. And for me, I would keep thinking about creative ways of getting this guy the ball as the game goes on here in the second half.
Got away from trouble and got rid of it. Finds the tight end. Tackled almost immediately. They're well short of the first down.
You know, I know it seems like an easy pitch and catch, but for the tight end there, that route potentially changes if it's man coverage. So good job by him knowing it's zone. I'm just going to sit down. This is basically like a check down, right? Let's just take the easy pitch and catch and keep this drive going.
He'll pull it on the read. And he's down at the 41. That's a first down.
Well, the defense did a pretty good job that time on the option play of having someone dedicating themselves to the quarterback to get him down. Not enough to stop the offense from picking up the first down, though. The defense really needs to be keyed in on this because they're going to see this option play more and more as this game goes on.
Looking downfield, it's Reed. Firing to the right, complete. He's brought down quickly. Minimal gain there, still a bit short of the first down.
And that's kind of a lot of today's running game, right? Spit the ball out quick, get it to your playmakers in space, get positive yards. It's instead of running the ball a couple yards up the middle, now you just spit it out wide, and a lot of times if you break a few tackles, it could be even bigger.
Texas A&M has the lead at the end of the quarter. 3 quarters are in the books. Time becomes a factor both in trying to hold the lead or cut into it as we take a look at the stats. Not only is the scoreboard on their side, but so too is time as we open the fourth. It'll be second down as we open the final stanza. They keep it on the ground. Clock is their friend. Defense uses a timeout quickly, trying to get that ball back and preserve time for their offense.
Yeah, there's a lot of pressure right now on this down if you're on offense because your last 2 plays have gone nowhere. You know the defense just needs to get the football back to give their team an opportunity to go win the game, so you're probably going to have to throw to get this first down. A lot of pressure here on the quarterback there.
Yeah, and how I throw, I think, is important. This is a time where I love moving my quarterback outside the pocket, making it an easy throw, or let him run the football, and if he doesn't get it, the clock still ticks. It's still my friend.
Hunt is on its way. And that is textbook instructional video. Out of bounds right around the goal line. They'll try the run. Gets a nice surge and crosses the 5 to the 6-yard line, a pickup of 3.
It's definitely too early to panic, but there's some bad feelings going on for this offense right now. You're way down on the scoreboard. I know we're still in the first half, but after that last play, it's pretty obvious. You can't run the ball. You're becoming a one-dimensional offense at a time when you need to be able to score some points. So either get it done through the air or you've got to be more physical up front.
Out of bounds, stopped just short of the 20 at the 19, and now they feel like they have room to operate.
About the big fella, the tight end, the wide receiver in a tight end's body going up and making the catch.
A lot of yardage in front of them. 1st and 10 from their own 19. To throw, it's Sellers. Gets it out fast. No chance to run, but still a solid pickup on that one.
And this offense just hasn't found a way to kind of open it up. Like, they haven't found those explosive plays. It feels like the defense is kind of strangling them and staying really close to the line of scrimmage because of their lack of their big play ability over the top. This offense has to dial something up.
The Gamecocks can play this second down a lot of ways with just a few yards to go. Wants to go up top. Got his man on the right. Out across the 30, steps out of bounds at the 31-yard line as they try to put something together.
This defense is going to have to be careful. Not only do they have to worry about this guy running the football, but they've got to keep their eye on him when he runs routes too. He is a versatile back.
And the Gamecocks will snap it on 1st and 10. Use the play fake, now to throw. Caught over the middle, it's Harbor. They'll get him down, but not before he crosses the 50. He's down to the 49.
First job for the QB a lot of times. Look at those safeties. Is it man or is it zone? Nice job. You could tell right away. He saw it was zone, understood where to go with the football, and that's why this offense had a positive gain right away.
It'll be a 1st down from the 49-yard line. And this will be incomplete. A big hit there forces 2nd down. This A&M defense is showing up with an attitude and ready to saw everybody's horns off.
And I think it starts with those big bullies up front. And Texas high school football, you can find those guys, and they come to A&M, and you've seen them year after year after year. Big physical guys. Doesn't matter who's coaching the defense. They find those body types up front.
He finds a dead spot in the middle.
So surprised we have not been calling this guy's name more. He's one of the best tight ends in the country, but give the defense credit. They have had an outstanding game plan limiting him so far. That's only his second catch of the game.
The Gamecocks come to the line needing just inches for the first down. Got it in the middle, it's Bennett. He'll come through on third down as he's got enough, and they'll mark it at the 23.
Well, look, that wasn't a touchdown, but that was a massive play for this offense. They needed some momentum. They needed to find a rhythm, and what better way than converting on third down. Awesome job by the quarterback getting through his progression.
Dropping back, it's Sellers. Throws to the wideout. Got it in the middle, it's Brown. They make the stop at the 5-yard line, and they've got it first and goal.
This is an offense that has skill, and they've got speed, and because of that, this defense, they can't lull themselves to sleep. They've got a big lead here late, but they've now given up back-to-back big plays. They got to put the clamps down.
And the Gamecocks line it up with a first and goal. He'll set up to throw. And the physical play there forces the incompletion on first down.
Well, the windows right now to throw into are getting smaller and smaller. How about the defender that time breaking on the ball? It was the hit that caused the incompletion.
They'll try to dial up a better one this time on second and goal from the 5. Looking to fire. Jack's got it. And they're able to force him out of bounds after a short pickup.
I like the aggressiveness by this defense. You got to play tight on the wide receivers. There's not a lot of space on the field. You got to be aggressive, and you got to make tackles.
This offense hasn't been able to find the end zone with a GPS and a slide rule. Can they finally get a touchdown on third and goal? Pushes toward the goal line. Absolutely nowhere to go as this defense makes a third down stop. The offense uses a timeout, 20 ticks remaining. And maybe a final chance to get on the scoreboard here with a touchdown. It's fourth and goal. From the gun. Under fire. And he's loose, and he'll take it to the house. Touchdown, Gamecocks!
Well, the good news is you scored a touchdown. You've made this a one-possession game. The bad news is you got to get the ball back. So if you're the head coach, you got to start thinking, how are we going to do that? Are we going onside kick, or do we trust our defense to give it back to the O?
They'll try to tack one more on their score. And the PAT will draw them 1 point closer. Precise, relentless execution on that 13-play scoring drive. And they capped it off with a 1-yard plunge. Down to 17 seconds to play. They'll line up for the onside kick, and what a miracle it would be if they pull this out. Running out the clock, a mere formality between them and a victory as we have victory formation coming. The quarterback takes a snap and takes a knee.